Okay, Jay here. We have a treat for you today. We're going to show you how to double tube. People are going to wonder what double tubing is. Just like double scoops of ice cream, it's better, right? All right, so we got our standard duty tube here. People are going to go, why don't you run this system or whatever? For ease, first of all, we don't trail ride a lot, but on rough motocross tracks like a Mammoth, putting a double tubing can help prevent pinch flats. And then for off-roading, it's a cheap guy's little heavier duty system. Is to get a standard tube. You saw I just cut out the valve stem. And if I was to go with another option, I would go with a moose, a bib moose. Now, one of the downsides of mooses, there's a few, is that they're kind of expensive and they need constant maintenance. They do break down. And so with trail bikes, if you leave it in your shop, it can get flat spots. Just sitting, they wear out. If a guy's riding a lot, regularly riding with a moose, he's breaking it down and you need to take it apart and stuff in another piece of mousse to give it its firmness back. So mooses are great for guys that are racing, that have to finish the race, or if you're, say, in Baja and you do not want to get a flat tire, you can't afford it, then I say that's where a moose comes in handy. So for us, we get a flat about once a year. We don't trail ride a ton. All of our stuff is so low that when it does happen, it's not too big a deal for us just to deal with it. We bring extra wheels. We have, of course, and I can change tires pretty well, but we typically don't bring tubes on the trail to fix. So right now we're going to show you how this goes, and we have a Dunlop AT81EX. It's a gummy tire, so it's a fairly easy tire to install. So I'm going to be straight up with you. It's a nice soft trials tire type compound, and but in a knobby form. And this is the ultimate trail tire. We're going to put this on this bike right here. Check this bike out, Spence. What do you think of this thing?
Pretty cool.
So we got Spence behind the camera. This is going to be our, I am the first and fifth owner of this bike. Did you know what? That's why I named it 15?
Yeah,
okay.
you told me.
All right.
Cool.
So I bought that bike in 2017, or maybe late 16. I don't remember. Okay. And then it's been sold to my buddy Jim, who sold it to a guy in Huntington Beach, who sold it to a guy in Pasadena, and then I bought it back just like a month and a half ago. So it's kind of fun to get it back. Okay, so we have baby powder in our tire. You can see there's already a powder inside your tube, which is kind of cool. Now, if you're good, you can do this wherever, but that spot where we cut out the valve stem, you can put the valve stem right there. Okay. Now, this just gives you an added layer of protection. And to me, it's a little bit better than going with a really heavy, super heavy duty tube that are really difficult to work with. This Dunlop Heavy is really nice. There's also some other brands that are really nice and pliable and good to work with. So now we'll give it a little shot of air. That was probably loud right in the mic, huh? Get a little shot of air so that we can hold it firm while we stuff it into our tire. And that yellow mark, it's not critical again because it's a dirt bike, but that yellow mark is the lightest spot of the tire, so you can put your valve stem there if you want to. A dirt bike doesn't have to be balanced too much, and then one little nick of your rim or piece of chunk of mud, and all that's out the window. Okay, so we're going to give it another shot of air now that we're all the way in. Blow it up. I like to get it nice and full so it takes its full shape. See that? And now with our little tool, I like to use this tool like this and just dial it in. I'm going to let the air out, and it'll hold that position. This little tool you can get like at Napa or any auto parts store online, valve core tool. I like that it has this long string so I can find it. It's a automotive guys will use this kind of tool. Okay, so now we're all set. We like to have good tools. I guess we should have talked about at the beginning. Good scissors I got for my birthday, or no, for Christmas a while back. Yep. Thanks, Spence. They're really sharp. I've actually cut myself with them. Okay, so good Motion Pro tire spoons. Motion Pro Bead Buddy, really helpful. Again, that tool's there. And then tire paste, we got our Buds tire paste. We use this or the Hunter Engineering. Buds is a moto guy out of Missouri, so kind of cool. So you want to get that tire paste. I get people ask me to do a video without using tire paste or without a tire stand. Why would I do that? Why would I make my life harder? So what we're going to do, also, see this tire stand? If you want to make your own, send us an email. We have all our contact infos in our bio. You can go to my website or to Instagram. We don't say or print the email any more than necessary because scammers, as you know. So anyway, do we have a hole in here? So, or this, and just so you know, let's talk a little bit about this wheel. It's a brand new Faster USA. This hub's a little. We actually used this hub on another build. It was a 19. And he just built us up a brand new rim. See the all looking nice here. So we have our rim lock in, and where's our valve stem hole? It's right there. Okay.
Let's do it.
I thought it was across. So we've got 2 layers of Gorilla Tape across there. Okay. I do 2 laps of Gorilla Tape. If you have your stock rubber strip, that's fine as well. The rubber, the KTM one's not great, the stock KTM one, but the other brands, the black rubber one, it holds on fine. Okay, so now I got my nut on. I just barely put it on, and then I'm going to go over here to the rim lock. And I've done this on either side. I got the rotor up, but I've had the rim lock on either side. There's pros and cons, I think, to either way, but just push my body against it. We do have videos. If you email us or go to our Google Doc, that will have emails where the rim lock is opposite. Spencer's actually a big help on that Google Doc and has organized it so he'll have a note telling you rim lock opposite when you get to tire change videos. Okay, so here we go. So I got my body pushing against it. I'm just barely on, and with my left hand I'm lifting up. And I've done other videos showing how not to scratch the rim. So at this point I can feel it's really good. I'm going to flip it over just to show you, but at this point I would like to flip it over and check out that the tube is the valve stem is not messed up here. If it is, I would walk out the tire. I'll even show you. So I'd have my tire spoon under here, and I'd push the valve stem up just to make sure that it's seated. Rim lock is nice and good right here. It's moving good. Now at this point, so we've got some tube hanging out here. So we're going to push all this tube in, and then we're going to start right here by the rim lock. And I lift up on the tire there, and this is where we go with our bead buddy. I always say this is your bestest buddy. I'm going to push that rim lock in, and you might not think this tube is going to make the extra tube is going to make it in there, but it does. Now we're going to come over here, knock it back off the bead. Keep doing that. Now this 81 EX tire, I swear it makes me a 15-20% better trail rider. Had a big ride this spring. Rode a 350, which is a lot harder than riding I like riding the 350, but and I didn't have any falls in those 2 days. It was awesome. And I attributed it right to that tire. Okay, so look at that tire just pop right on. And then that last bit of tube, all gone. So that's as simple as that to get that on there. Now we're going to beat it up. Now one thing we'll show, guys, what's funny is on those I don't scratch rim video.
Yeah.
What was the most common thing, guys?
You
scratch the rim. And
Yeah.
I had to go make a follow-up video.
We'll go really slow over the rim.
Because I just don't think they believed me. Because
No.
they saw what they see is like a mark of tire paste.
Tire paste usually. They think it's, yeah.
This is a brand new
I'll
rim.
go really slow. Here, ready?
You can see, I ain't lying to you.
Look at that.
Okay, so now let's tighten this
Nothing.
rim lock. Now this is something you don't want to over tighten, but you also don't want to under tighten. Just good and snug. I'd rather be loose than not, because if you see it start to turn, you can always tighten it up and learn where you need to be, but just barely start to feel it move right there. Okay, now I should have waited to actually tighten that rim lock till I inspected the other side. I like to do it. I kind of felt it pop up because but you always want to inspect it first. Okay, so we're good there. Now let's set tire pressure, right?
Yep. When you're riding.
We're gonna do this in about a week. We'll be shooting that bike, a dirt bike test. So I think I'm gonna set this down low. We run about 10 pounds in these, right? Mm-hmm. But we're also not going crazy hammering. You have to use your head. When I talk about using a tube and not a moose, you have to be smart and not going, fourth gear, third gear tap through sandy sections with buried rocks. That's where you can get in trouble. You're going through
riverbeds,
and there's uncovered. You smack into that rock with your front wheel up. You're going to hit this rear tire and then pop. And Spencer's done it.
Yep.
I haven't done it very much.
I was on a road.
You were on a road when you did it?
It was a rocky road, yeah.
Rocky road.
It was like a 2-track trail, and I jumped down some rocks, landed on hard rock.
Okay, so that's a good look at it. Anything else we should add?
No.
Should we get some tips on putting tire stickers on that no one has?
Ooh, yeah. Well, you can get them if you win.
Yeah. Tire Sticker Tuesday at
Tire Sticker
Ride
Tuesday.
Dunlop.
Go follow them on Instagram. You have a chance.
Okay, so we clean off this little contact cleaner. Oh, we didn't show that this rim is good on this side as well. They might say, oh, you got the other side. No, it's good.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Okay, and then I'll actually show putting the wheel on. How about that? It'll be like a bonus video.
Okay.
Okay. Tire sticker, not available. Don't email me and ask me to send you tire stickers. Even to buy tire stickers, we can't sell them. We don't have them to sell. We just use them on media bikes. And then at this point, I like to get rid of that little yellow dot for my photos. Just people be like, what's that yellow dot? Okay, so that's off. Okay, we're gonna flip it over. And then I'm gonna go opposite that DID sticker. Calling it Faster USA does a great job building these wheels. You remember these wheels when they were on a...
I remember what bike you're talking about, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Kelly bought that bike.
Yes.
With stock wheels. And then these have been sitting in there, the shed forever. And I'm like, I should use these on my new build. Yeah. And then my buddy Jim is buying my old wheels. He's like, I want the old wheels. I'm like, okay. All right. So this is going to have some awesome wheels on it for a trail bike. How do you think they're going to look in a little while? So we're worried about scratching them.
It depends on if I ride it or not.
So they're going
to... What I ride it on.
They're going to get scratched up. It's the reality of, especially trail bikes, is that you get stuck somewhere and then you just get a gouge in there. Oh, you just feel terrible, right? And like,
yeah.
Well, you don't feel too bad.
I don't.
People that...
When you get... when you're on the program, it's hard, you know?
Okay. All right. So what I like to do is obviously sit on the ground, as you see. I think it's important to just have better control. I see guys struggle without sitting down, and they...
Brake pads first.
So what I like to do is... And this wheel's been off for a day or two.
KTM ones have a hard time sliding back in after...
Look at that. So, and I didn't have to spread them apart. A lot of guys get a screwdriver and spread them apart.
And scratch the brake pads.
Scratch the brake pads, and then sometimes forget to pump up that brake.
So pads, chain, then axle.
Did you check out that video on the new 23? How that holds the rear wheel?
Yes.
Pretty cool, huh?
Definitely very nice. Little...
Yeah, why didn't we think of this...
Quality of life things.
20 years ago. Okay, I should have got a soft hammer, but I didn't get one. So next, spacers. Make sure that they're going the same direction on both sides. We're gonna need hammer time. Get a hammer, and then I want to make sure I'm gonna tap it to make sure it's straight. Just tap it that last little bit. Okay, now I have a rag right here. So a rag is great to put in the rear sprocket like that. That'll pull the rear wheel against those adjusters. And then, see that right there? I get a little feel. You can torque that. Just look in your manual for your torque spec if you want to get a good feel for what it is. Our chain's in a good spot. Okay.
Sweet.
Let's give a goodbye. So that's a look at what you need to do for double tubing. Hopefully that helps you out. And click, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Hopefully you enjoy. We have plenty of other videos if you want to check out tech videos. We'll see you. Hey, Dirt Bike TV here.
Today, we're going to be talking about why we use the onX Off-Road app. The onX Off-Road app offers offline maps, which is one of the things we use every single time we go trail riding. All the trail riding we do is off the grid, which means no cell phone signal. So we're able to use the onX Off-Road app on our phones and to be able to not get lost and have a ride mapped out beforehand via their desktop version, and I'm able to draw out lines on the computer and plan a coherent loop that everybody can have fun on. onX Off-Road also offers open dates and public land information for those who are looking to plan out their ride best. The Elite version even has ownership information and property boundaries. The features on the onX Off-Road app are pretty much endless. You can import old KML and GPX files, and you can even see fire information in real time, as well as in-depth weather analysis. Try onX Off-Road today by heading over to the link in our link tree or going over to onxoffroad.com and using the code DBTV1 for a 20% discount. See you out on the trail.